Hey guys, it's Lloyd here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Pixxus from All Stars 2.0. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this guy was originally released in All Stars 2.0 or was available before. Let me know in the comments on that one. But for eagle-eye viewers of the channel, yes, I have actually already done a review of this guy. Therefore, that video, I'll leave a link to it in the description below so you can check it out at your own leisure. But much like the Brother Mandibulus review I put last week, right? I feel I have improved as a action figure reviewer guy here on YouTube, so I decided why not give Pixxus another review, because Pixxus is a skeleton from the Mythic Legions line, my bread and butter when it comes to this line. Even though he is currently a member of the Sons of the Red Star and not the Congregation of Necronominus, he's still a skeleton, so I think it qualifies. But with that being said, as far as his accessories go, he does come with an alternate Trojan Man helmet, complete with the Warhawk and everything. I'm not sure which head I want to use with this guy. Since I got Vetus, I kind of want to make this guy look a little bit different, or Vitus, whatever it's called. Just so I don't have two of the same looking guys on my shelf, because even though Vitus and Pixxus are brothers, right? They're twins. I kind of like the fact that Pixxus is undead and Vitus isn't, and the skull head kind of helps with that. Even though it is kind of going against what I prefer with my skeletons, they all kind of look like Malleus after a while, which isn't a bad thing. I love Malleus, but I think we need a Malleus-specific head, because Morgulith and Brother Mandibulus got specific heads, and Malleus has yet to receive one, so bumping the camera up just a tad here. I think I might have bopped it a bit. Before we get into the bulk of this review, I would like to give a chef's kiss to fine folks over at Four Horsemen Studios for how they handled this past Sunday's super secret special in-stock sale for their limited edition Krampus release. I am so excited to get my hands on that figure. It was $50 for the regular Krampus by himself, and then $75 for the all-in, which came with greeting cards, a coffee mug, I assume, and a pin. And then there were some t-shirts available from Retro Rags as well. But I gotta commend the Horsemen for doing a great job with that sale. We were able to go in at 9 a.m., get what we wanted, and get out. So yours truly and his old man are very, very happy campers, because we each got a really, really cool looking Krampus figure on the way from, again, the fine folks over at Four Horsemen Studios. So I gotta commend them and give them credit where credit is due. They did a really good job with that. I think it was handled very, very well. And if you missed out on that, I pity you. I feel sorry for you, but there's nothing I can do about that now. I fortunately do not have enough money to snag enough for everybody. That, and it was a limit, 2 per sale, because they did one at 9 a.m. and they did one at 8 p.m. on Sunday. So you could get a total of 4 Krampuses, or Krampi, or Krampuses. I don't know. But at any rate, Krampuses, as that one song goes. Is it I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas? It's one of those wacky, like, 50s Christmas songs. Anyway, getting into Pixxus here. Pixxuses. He comes with the standard Mythic Legions fare as far as weapons go. He has a spear he can stick you with. Kia. I'm pretty sure this is his spear, right? Don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure it is. It matches his sword, his shield, as far as the handle goes. There you go. Speaking of which, he does come with the long sword, which is the sword I prefer. His brother, Vitus, comes with the short sword, which I thought was kind of interesting. And also, side note, I will not be comparing the two in this video, though you can take the Vitus parts and make Pixxus before he, well, died. So that's something cool to note, but my Vitus is happily displayed on the shelf, and I'd prefer not to mess it up trying to get him out. But this guy comes with the broadsword, or longsword, whatever you want to call it, sword. The cooler looking sword, I think. The two basic swords. And then he has the standard shield, which is something I'm surprised didn't come with Vitus. It does have the handle as opposed to the clips. You can pop it off and pop it back on. One of the things you can do, which I think I learned this from good old Jeremy Gerard. Shout out to Jeremy. But you can take the shield handle, kind of slide it into the loop on the brown belt here. If I can get it in there. Hold on, let me take them behind camera so I can line this up properly, because it is a bit tricky to do with the belt on the figure. It doesn't want to go in, of course. There we go. You can easily store the shield on his back like that, which I think is kind of cool. You can have it stored like that, almost Captain America style. Don't mind that at all. Kind of hangs down a bit, so you might want to adjust it. But you could totally do this. Granted, if he had some shoulder pauldrons, I'm sure this would be a little bit more in place, but since he doesn't have those, it's whatever. But you can totally do that if you want. And then, he does have the little loop on the belt if you want to put the sword in there. I had a dagger I had in there. Or I placed in there. I think it came from Zarya, but it matched this guy's colors as far as his weapons go, so I just had him with a dagger, but I might just leave that empty for now and give the dagger back to Zarya, because she's only got her dark steel cutlass sword. But taking a look-see at Pixxus up close, apparently this guy's named after good old Pixel Dan, which I have my opinions about. I'm not the biggest fan of his. I think he's a little bit overrated as far as the YouTube toy reviewer game goes. But I will give him credit. Without him, I wouldn't know a lot of the characters I really like in Masters of the Universe. Thanks to his classics videos, I was able to discover some new characters that I think are pretty cool. So, I gotta give credit where it's due, but at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest fan of his. So don't come up here in the comments being all, I love Pixel Dan, because, well, I don't care. But, jokes aside, this is a cool figure regardless. I love the colors. The metallic blue and the gold really pop on this guy. He looks really cool. And for an older Legions figure, post-Colosseum, I want to say post-Advent of Decay as well. Or no, he wasn't post-Advent of Decay. He was, post that first pre-order. He's pretty solid still. He's about on par with Brother Mandibulus as far as like joint tightness and whatnot goes, because this guy shipped with the Soul Spiller wave, which had the Fury Clan Orc and good old Thalen Frostbow and Lord Viteris, another member of the Sons of the Red Star. And I believe Kauros, Melina, Ragna Stormforger, and the Ice Troll. And then this All-Stars wave had good old Atlas the Conqueror, the Skeleton Legion Builder, the Templar Knight Legion Builder, which are both going to get reissued again in the reinforcements. Not wave, but in stock. I don't know if you want to call it an in-stock sale, but it's one of those deals where if you want something, you better go get it sooner rather than later. They're going to have a lot, but at the end of the day, you're going to want to get what you can. Who else was in this All-Stars wave? Attila Leonisir, I believe, was in this wave. Deltagar the Destroyer, Egalus, Carpathius. Is that it? Vorgus Vermilius, the Blood Knight, also one of the vampires, I believe, was in this wave. I think that might have been it. Joran Runeshaper and the Silver Dwarf Are those the other two? There's a couple dwarves, but either way, this is a pretty decent wave of All-Stars, but I think All-Stars 3 and 4 definitely had more of what yours truly looks for when it comes to Mythic Legions. Skeletons. But, at any rate, articulation on this guy. His head, look up and down pretty well. Tilt side to side. I'm pretty sure this is the skull head he came with. I tried out 3, and this is the one that popped on here the easiest. Had a slightly stickier joint in the jaw here, which opens and closes, so he can be all meh, meh. This jaw was tighter than the jaw on the Brother Mandibulus head, and this color matched better with this body than the Tibius head did, so I assume this is Pixxus' head. If not, I am sorry, but I'm not perfect. As far as the shoulders go, you can put them out this far. I can actually show you this pretty well now because he doesn't have any shoulder pauldrons, so I guess that's a plus. He's the more articulated of the skeletons I have on the 1.0 body because he does not have those shoulder pauldrons. But I think it would have been nice if they gave him one. Gave him one on this side, Vetus, whatever you want to call him, one on the other side, just to kind of mix him up a little bit more, just a tad, but it's neither here nor there. What's done is done. His arms do move forward and back as well. His elbows will hinge, almost giving you 90 degrees. I feel like they get more range nowadays, but I could just be tripping. But he does have a single hinge there. He does have rotation in the elbow as well. Swivel at the gauntlet, hinge at the wrist, as well as rotation in the wrist. There you go. His torso is on the standard ball joint that does tilt forward and back. Forgot to mention his neck does rotate, which on this guy actually rotates pretty well because I can get to it. He has a different color piece than we're used to seeing. It's just kind of a small color piece. The only other time I've seen this is on the Skeleton Legion Builder that I also got from this wave. So that's cool. But his torso is on the ball joint. It does rotate. It does tilt forward and back. Not too shabby. He's got probably my favorite belt, the big old skull belt, Warduke looking belt, which I love. He's got the armored kind of cod piece here. And then he's got the skeleton legs so they can move forward and back. They can move out. You move back down. He's got a single joint in the knee. Swivel at the knee. No thigh cut because he's got the thin bone leg there. And then he's got a hinge in the foot with a rocker and rotation. So that's your lot. That is Pixxus in a nutshell. He is super duper cool. I really dig how he came out as far as the paint goes, but giving him his shield and a sword back here. If I can get the sword in the belt and his shield in his hand. I gotta tell you, I really love the shield handles on these guys. They are far superior to that of the Eclipse. But with that being said, let us now take a look at some comparisons. First up here is Pixxus next to a couple other skeletons from the Mythic Legions line that I had conveniently hanging out nearby. We have Malleus from All-Stars 3.0 and Tibius from All-Stars 4.0. And it's funny enough that Pixxus himself is, of course, from All-Stars 2.0. The only skeleton I don't have is Scapular the Crypt Breaker, who was in, again, funny enough, All-Stars 1.0, but of course the original Kickstarter. And once again, I'm not too sure about Pixxus here. I don't recall if he was a first release with that second All-Stars wave, like Deltagar the Destroyer was, or if he was available before. Let me know in the comments on that one, but he does look really good next to the other skeletons in this line. That's one thing Mythic Legions does really well. It's when you have a bunch of a certain race together, they look really, really cool in one big kind of grouping. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Untitled Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. But had I have busted out ye old Trojan Man helmet for Pixxus here, that might not be the case. But with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and what else can I say about this figure other than he is yet again another solid skeleton in the Mythic Legion's line. Again, with me, as far as I'm concerned, you can never go wrong with a Mythic Legion skeleton figure, and this guy is no exception. Even though he's a bit more bare bones, pun intended, let's not kid ourselves here, doesn't have a whole lot of armor or added accoutrements to speak of, he's still really solid. The paint alone is really what sells this figure. I love the blue, metallic, and gold paint. It just looks really, really sharp and really pops on my Legion's shelf. He's definitely towards the front for those of you who are oh so curious, along with the rest of the Sons of the Red Star, because let's face it, that faction is just kind of interesting. And it's also next to the Congregation of Necronomicus, so it kind of bleeds in together quite well, if I do say so myself. So with that being said, I would highly recommend you try and pick this guy up, as long as it's not going to cost you like $50,000. I don't know what this guy's going for now, but I can only assume it ain't cheap, so buyer beware. He is cool, but I don't think he's worth a mortgage. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we gotta show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil. The world sucks enough as it is. And also, if you haven't already, hit up the Mythic Legions Cabal over on Facebook and Instagram. Be a part of the community. Be a part of all the Mythic Legions fun, especially this week with the reveal/drop of the Mighty Krampus. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.